another episode of our weekly podcast. I'm Tammy and hoping everyone to have a great day today. Today's topic is about Singapore e-commerce platforms. Yes, we are exploring the e-commerce in Singapore. Why? E-commerce business was booming at the height of the pandemic. We all know that even before there's already an e-commerce platform in every country. It is just that people still have a choice whether they would buy online or in store. However, when the pandemic hit, people had no choice but to stay at home and use the internet to search for things and buy online, right? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about here. And now that we are all back to normal, the e-commerce platform is still there, and I guess it will never end. It is very convenient for both seller and buyer, of course. There are advantages and disadvantages when it comes to buying online. Online buying and selling have become important parts of many people's lives. Virtual stores allow people to shop from the comfort of their home without the pressure of a salesperson. Online marketplaces provide a new home and more convenient venue for exchanging virtually all types of goods and services. Both businesses and customers have embraced online sales as a cheaper and more convenient way to shop. Still, just like anything associated with the internet, there are benefits and dangers, of course, associated with shopping online. You know, there's a lot of scammers and a lot of dangers. Like any other countries, Singapore has their own e-commerce platforms, and this is what we're going to talk about today: the Singapore e-commerce platforms. And there are a lot of kinds of e-commerce platforms available, like the business to business, or as we call the B2B, if you're familiar with that, the business to consumers, consumers to consumer, or consumer to business, and business to administration. And also there is the consumer to administration. So yes, there are different types of e-commerce platforms, not only in Singapore but also in different countries as well. If you're living in Southeast Asia, I'm sure you are familiar with Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, and Carousel. Okay, and for those who's not familiar with this, I'm gonna explain a little background for this e-commerce platform. For Lazada and Shopee, actually we have already made a podcast regarding this one because this is the top e-commerce platform in Southeast Asia. Lazada and Shopee are the e-commerce platforms where you can buy anything under the sun, like anything from your clothes, shoes, kitchen things, house stuffs, of course. There are also prohibited products that you cannot sell in a platform. So if you're planning to enter this e-commerce platform, you have to check on their rules on what are the things that you cannot sell, because if you're living, for example, you're living in the Philippines and you want to sell it globally, then there are things that you cannot sell in, for example, Indonesia, or there are products that cannot enter their country. So yeah, anyone can open their shop in these two platforms as an independent seller. So me, if I want to sell my products, then I can sell it there. When we say independent seller, then I can only sell my products here in the Philippines. I cannot go, and I cannot sell my products in other countries. But if you want, you can go globally. You can register globally. Then that's the time you can cater to any other Southeast Asian countries as well. I'm going to tell you honestly that these two platforms are the top e-commerce here in the Southeast Asia. Many are entering these two platforms to sell their products. Why? Simply because they have a lot of consumers here. Yeah, the behavior of the people here when buying is high. Not only because the products are um, not available in the Asia, but also it is cheaper when bought in these two platforms. While Zalora is an apparel platform, many are also considering buying here. Most of the brands that you can see in the brick and mortar stores are also available in this e-commerce platform. Let's say you bought the wrong size, quality is not great, no worries, because returning the item is easy. On the other hand, carousel platform, if you have heard this one, um, it is where you can sell your pre-owned items, like what they usually say, like giving my old stuff a new home. So I don't like this clothes anymore, then I can sell it in the carousel. And there are a lot of practical buyers here, and they would consider buying pre-owned stuffs too. Like me, if I see this, or if I need something that I need a second hand, then I can go to the carousel and search for it. Yeah. Going back to Singapore e-commerce platforms, there are different kinds of. I mean, there are different platforms in Singapore that that they only sell in Singapore. I mean, there's the e-commerce platform that the Singapore have, and the only e-commerce platform that you can see in Singapore are the I'm not sure if you have heard the QOO10 Singapore, where they sell anything from apparels, vouchers, and even baby stuffs. Well, another platform is the Ribbons. I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, where they sell some luxury items. They also have eBay and Rakuten, like in any other countries. Hipvan, a furniture online shop, and Honest Bee for your grocery needs. I remember one time that Honest Bee, they opened Honest Bee here in the Philippines, but I'm not sure what happened, and it's gone. it's it's not here anymore. Anyway, so if you're planning to enter the Singapore market, and so hearing about these e-commerce platforms, now you have an idea about Singapore market. And if you really want to enter the Singapore market and sell on these platforms, then you have to listen on this, because I will tell you the step by step how to open your business in Singapore, whether you are local or foreign. And what will really make you interested in opening a shop or doing a business in Singapore is actually how friendly their international policies are in terms of incorporating your business. Yes, you heard it right. Singapore is one of the best places to incorporate your company. Why? I'm going to talk about foreign companies here, okay? There are three steps to follow when registering your business in Singapore. Well, okay, if you're planning to open your company, you will need to go through an agency to help you with that instead of doing it on your own, because you will be needing a company address based in Singapore and a local director as well. So you cannot go independently, cannot open your company independently, because you need a Singapore local address and a local director. So how do we proceed on this? First is you would be, first is you would be needing to submit your details like your passport, tax, etc. Anything that is about you. The second is you have to file some government requirements. Um, we, if you want to know more about this, you may email us at info@uniprohk.com. Then I can help you with that. And beside these things, of course, you'll be needing to pay fees for these applications. And these fees are for name checking and application. Like, um, if you already have your company name, then we have to check it if it's still available in Singapore, or if not, then you have to think another one. So yeah, there are fees for this. You would need to hire a certified agency to help you with the application. So yeah, if you're planning, just let us know because we can help you. And anyway, once you have a company, you will also need to submit accounting and tax reports to the government. Your corporate secretary will help you lia, will help you with your corporates your corporate secretary your corporate secretary will help you with this with the relevant personnel so these reports can be filed. So yeah, you just submit us the requirements and then we can help you report and file these things. And there are things to remember also, like you must have at least one shareholder to register a Singapore company. Um, the shareholder can be an individual or another company. Of course, you can have more than one such shareholders as well. The maximum number for shareholders for a Singapore private limited company is 50. Note that 100% foreign shareholding is allowed. Example, all shareholders can be foreigners. Okay. Other than that, you can set up a Singapore company with a capital of just one Singapore dollars. Okay. Later, if required, you can increase the capital by injecting additional funds and notifying the company registrar. Okay, so yeah, it's friendly, right? I just also want to add that at least one director should be residing in Singapore, like what I mentioned a while ago. Yes, Singapore resident and foreign resident persons can be directors of Singapore company as long as there is at least one Singapore resident director. Like, okay, if you want to live in Singapore, then yeah, as long as you reside in Singapore, then you can be a director. Corporate directors are not permitted. In other words, a company cannot be a director. It must be a person. Okay. And for the company secretary, like us, we can help you. We can you can hire us as your company secretary. A Singapore company must appoint a company secretary who resides in Singapore, and they are responsible for ensuring the company complies with its regulatory obligations and filings when you incorporate your company. Yeah, so I hope I explained that clearly. And lastly is a registered address in Singapore. The company must have a registered address in Singapore. All statutory documents of the company must be kept at this address. The address cannot be a PO box. No. When you incorporate your company through us, we will appoint our address as your company's registered address, because there are government documents, or there are documents that needed to send in your company. So if you don't have an address, then where will they send it, right? So all bank documents, company documents that came from the government, they will send it to this address. Then um, we can send this mails to you, or we can send it digitally. So yeah, these are the things you need to know when incorporating your company in Singapore. I hope I was able to explain everything you need to know. Now, if you need to know more about these things, please let me know by messaging us at info@unipohk.com, here, down here. And yeah, so I like I told you, Singapore has the most one of the most friendliest policies in Southeast Asia. So I suggest you, if you want to open your business, you can do it in Singapore. You can also enter the Lazada and Shopee market and sell globally. There's a lot of interesting things about here. There's a lot of interesting things here in an e-commerce platform here in Singapore. So yeah, that's it. If you have any question, please let us know. You can comment. Um, you can comment and just let us know. That's it. Bye.